All right, guys. Wanted to do another rambling about another sore spot that we, and I'm sure every other brokerage has, and that's special provisions. Your favorite paragraph, paragraph 11 of the residential resale contract. Now, I guess let's start off with, I've noticed that there's pockets and regions of Texas where they have a style of doing contracts a certain way, and for Texas Ally, our brokerage, and I'm sure for a lot of brokerages, as this has been a problem that Trek is trying to make go away, and that's you can't be writing in all willy-nilly, scratching paragraphs out, all that fun stuff. And some of the stuff that you guys put into the special provisions, especially a few years ago, it was getting really crazy. I remember for a while there was this idea that you could put subject to inspection into the special provisions and all that. You can't do that. You're trying to make these people were doing these like conditional statements. That is not what the special provisions is for. And yeah, we got to get out of the habit of doing that stuff, guys. So let's talk about what you can, what the paragraph says. Let's start with that. So special provisions. Insert only factual statements and business details applicable to the sale. Trek rules prohibit license holders from adding factual statements or business details for which a contract addendum, lease, or other form has been promulgated by Trek or mandatory use. So that even that second part, I've noticed people have had issues with, putting stuff in there that there's already an addendum for it. So for example, refrigerator and washing machine shall convey with the house. You don't put it there. That goes into the non-realty items addendum. There's an addendum for that. Or sometimes they'll put seller to fix fence, yada, 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 something like that. They're going to fix that. That doesn't go in there either. There's a section for that. That goes right here. Buyer accepts property as is, blah, 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 seller's expense if they complete the specific repairs or treatments. Goes in there. Oh, and I love this. Subject to inspections. That's exactly what we're talking about. So they would put that in there. They would put that in there. So if you've noticed, like over the years, like the contract gets a little bit longer and a little bit longer because dummies, I don't know. I think attorneys are the ones that start some of these trends where they think they can, bend the rules of the contract, and they start selling their little $3,000, learn from this real estate guru garbage, and this is how you bend the contract so you can do special shit. There's been issues from or I guess declarations from Trek, from the Texas Association of Realtors to specifically not do those things. So that was a thing. But anyways, let's talk about a good example that can possibly go into that section. So factual statements, descriptives, I'd say disclosures can possibly go in there. So for example, this is actually specific to Texas, to our brokerage, guys. Listing agent is the only licensed salesperson for this transaction. Something like that. That could go in there. That's a factual statement if you are. And it only reiterates, let's say you're a member, so I guess for us, we don't want you guys doing intermediary agreements, right? No single member intermediary agreements. And typically you are the listing agent, right? So that's another re-emphasis of the situation. That can go in there. Boom, beautiful, quick, simple. Everyone understands it's just a disclosure. It's just reaffirming the facts. No problems there. Here's a bad example. This actually happened today too, and it came from a freaking broker. And good thing one of our agents brought it up to me, and she's like, is this supposed to be in there? I was like, no, she's trying to practice in law. By the way, our capacity as real estate agents, we're just form fillers. I hope you guys make sure I hope you guys are very much aware of that fact that we're not supposed to be bending these contracts. We're just form fillers. And even that capacity is kind of scary, that we're kind of like these, I hate to use this term, but it's almost like we're like limited capacity, almost like attorneys, but only in the capacity where we can just fill in these forms. I know it's a little redundant, but anyways, here's the example. Appraisal to be completed and returned to lender no later than October 15th. And let me pull this up. Let me show you guys this craziness. Check this out. This lady, this wasn't our agent. Our agent. It was this broker that was working across from one of our agents. Literally put that in there. And she's over here trying to tell our agent, she's over here trying to tell our agent that, oh yeah, it's okay, we can do that kind of stuff. And I'm glad that our agent, had the wherewithal and to ask me. And I think she checked in a couple other spots, and she was right. She knew she was right. She just wanted to confirm. And yeah, definitely don't do that. She was trying to create this weird conditional. I think that's the best way to think of it. If you think it's going to be, if the person, or if you're trying to make a conditional statement that's practicing law, you can't do that. Okay, so with this situation, I'll pull it back up. Appraisal to be completed and returned to lender no later than October 15th. So what happens if it doesn't get returned? They're trying to say this contract is void and they're in default. That's BS. They're full of crap. So they're trying to create this weird gotcha conditional statement. It has no space. It has no business being in the special provisions. And this is a $1 million contract too. It's crazy. It's a big deal. So that's a $10,000 earnest money. That's a lot of money to have that kind of, this is going to end up having to go to a court. This is even bigger than small claims. They'd have to go to district to get this resolved. You can't do that. All right, so we talked about a bad example. And I told you about the conditional stuff. So let's kind of reconfirm what you can put in there. Like if you have doubts, you probably need to ask me. So message me and I'll help you get it cleared up. It's probably a good chance it probably doesn't belong in there. If it's some kind of descriptive disclosure, that can probably go in there. The house is blue. That's totally fine. It's got to be some kind of factual statement. It can't be if blah 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 is discovered that yada yada yada, then buyer can no, absolutely not. That's a conditional statement. Get out of here with that stuff. I think I already talked about items that already have addendums, or they already have a special paragraph for that. So non-realty items addendum, that shouldn't go in there because there's already an addendum for that, for non-realty items. Or if you're trying to do repairs go in the repairs section, not in the special provision section. Know your addendums. So hope you have the main takeaways. Stay away from conditional statements for paragraph 11, special provisions. Stay away from items that can occur into the future. Yeah, you could just get into all kinds of problems when you put those kind of conditions into special provisions. And if the contract goes sideways, you're just asking for problems, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyways, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I can explain to you further. And